ages, please welcome Buffyfest. Come on down, Buffy. Marsters, we've got the Metcalf, come down. And here they come. We have five. We have an extra chair. Hang on.
I love that interview. It's like World Wrestling Federation.
And now,
Sorry, the coffee's working.
I'm glad it's working for you.
Yeah.
It's not working for me.
Not been appreciated by you partiers. Just kidding.
so, you know, they've done this once or twice. Hell, half of y'all have done this more than that. So, is there anything anyone wants to talk about before we get started with some Q&A from the fans? Anything you're working on lately?
Well, I just want to thank everyone for letting me come in today. I'm obviously cosplaying as Juliet Landau, so a hungover Juliet Landau. So yeah, you can field your silly questions to me, and I'll try my best.
She'll make shit up for you. I owe each of you a quarter.
Right.
Sorry.
And I'll just say, everyone go online to iTunes and download Ghost of the Robot's latest album. It's called
All right, we're going to go ahead and just take some questions then. Gentlemen, first up, man, you are on, buddy.
Okay, this question is for all of you. Who is that one actor or director that has given you the best piece of advice so far? And what was that advice for you?
James gave me the best piece of advice.
Cool.
And it was get the spinach out from between your teeth.
I guess the best piece of advice I ever got was, I worked on that film with Steven Soderbergh, and I asked him what made a good director, and he said, you cast well, which is also what I did when I cast James in this film that I made called James.
Yeah.
Cast smart, and then you just let awesome people who know what they're doing just do their thing, and you don't bug them.
Awesome.
I remember I was working with his first-time director. She was a fellow cast member of Buffy. She said, James, shut up. That was good. But other than that, my very, I think it was the first play I ever did was a Shakespeare at the Goodman in Chicago, and I was freaked out, and I asked this guy, Bob Scoggins, who, what's the secret of doing Shakespeare? And he's drinking a beer, and he goes, kid, stand up straight, say your lines clearly, and get the hell off stage. And it was literally the best. If anyone does Shakespeare, just let Shakespeare do the work. You don't have to do any work. Just say the lines clearly, stand up straight, and leave.
Well, my best piece of advice was similar to James and I guess Amber's, but a little more concise. Don't act. That's what I was told.
Exactly.
Don't act.
Yeah.
I guess I would say the best advice I ever got, and all the directors say this, is know your lines. Know your words.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, next up, sir, what is your question?
I actually have a question for you all too, but possible we could start with Kristy. I'd like for you all to talk about how you came to Buffy.
Right on. How are we getting that door?
Oh, okay. Well, Luke Perry was first cast in the film, and he had recommended me to play the role of Buffy, and I had to go in and, audition, and I went through a process of, 7 auditions or so, and with all other actors, so it was kind of like a screen test sort of thing, but they didn't film it. But, it was just like, a lot of people involved, and that's how, and then I got the part.
exciting. I was auditioning for different projects and got a call about this weird show called Buffy, and it's, you know, I guess it was going into its 5th season, obviously, and I had seen only the show when I had been over to Liza's when she did crossover episodes, and I'd seen Angel and whatever, but I didn't really know too much about it. And the dialogue was very general, and the character didn't have a name, and so I said, well, I'm just gonna go in and play her crazy. And, and I guess Joss responded to crazy, because it really was an easy process. I just got a call the next day, like, oh yeah, you got the job. I'm like, great.
When I moved down to Los Angeles, it was from Seattle, and I moved down because I had a son, and I had to get some work, and the only credit I had was off of Northern Exposure playing a really nerd character, like this, the son of a really amazing preacher who was trying to be a preacher himself but couldn't do it. He just sucked because he was nervous in front of people, you know. So I was getting called in for a lot of nerds, because in Hollywood, whatever you've done before is what you keep doing. And then suddenly I get an audition for this other kind of character, this spy character. I'm like, right on. And apparently they've been looking for somebody for like 3 months and hadn't found anybody they liked, and they were filming in 3 days, and the character was supposed to die after 5 episodes anyway, so they just had to get it done. And I came in with a believable accent, and they were like, done, kill anybody.
I just auditioned for it, and I think Joss wanted someone very sylph-like, very thin and tiny, and I came in and he's like, no, but Marty Noxon was like, yes. And so they called me to come back, and I had actually left town, so I couldn't go back. So they're like, we're going to see more people, and if we don't find somebody, come back on Monday. So I went in on Monday, didn't find anybody, and Marty pushed for me. That's how I got the job.
All right. Yeah, I auditioned late in the process of trying to find the master because they couldn't figure out who they wanted, and the casting director told me later they actually brought me in because she was sure that I was wrong for the part, because they'll often do that, casting directors, apparently. They bring in people that they're sure are wrong, hoping the director will help them understand better what the director wants, because the director will say, no. But it turned out I was what Joss wanted. We shared a sense of irony, and we realized that it was all supposed to be very funny. That's it.
Well, I think you all did a great job. I enjoy your work.
First of all, I'd like to say welcome. Enjoyed the show. What was your guys' most memorable moments on the set?
My most memorable was when my dress broke and fell down. I was filming a fight sequence. I think it was a lot of people's most memorable, season 5. And it's on film somewhere. I think 3 cameras.
I had a couple of. The hardest part for me about all the makeup, which took 5 hours to put on, was the nails. Because once I had the nails on, I couldn't really do anything. And they were long days, and I wanted to keep hydrated, so I had to go to the bathroom.
That was very memorable to a PA, right?
So I had to go find a volunteer, or PA, or a costume assistant, somebody, and I had some good times. But I can't name any names.
Did you ever hurt yourself before you figured out that you needed an assistant?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but there aren't any scars or anything.
He's a bleeder.
I will always remember the guy that played the stunt Spike was a guy named Steve Tartaglia, and he was a maniac. He came from Hong Kong, and he was one of the main Caucasian stuntmen in Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong, they don't have a lot of laws around stunts, so a lot of things that you can get away with in Hong Kong are illegal here. So no matter what they asked of Steve, he was like, piece of cake. That's a cute. So I will always remember him. He had to take a 3rd-story fall onto concrete, but onto, just because of the onto, all he had for a pad was a bush about this big, right? And it was on concrete. And at the last minute, because of camera angle, he had to take the fall on the curb. Like, he had to fall on the curb with only a bush. He had to curb himself. And I will just always remember him doing the gag and getting up like, okay, what's next? Felt like dead. Yeah, it was amazing.
Most memorable moment on set. There were so many. It was a fun set. There was a lot of awesomeness. I guess for me, just embarrassing myself. I walked into a pole in the musical episode. Yeah, and I thought I got away with it because no one said anything. But I guess somebody was filming it, and you can watch the episode. And I walked right into the pole. It's really embarrassing. Any memorable moments from the? Did you?
And
Yes, it was the crawler.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be going. And I bumped it, and I kind of went, that's good. And Josh's like, I like that, I'm going to keep it in. Yeah.
What about from the movie set? Any memorable moments?
Yeah, there are.
PG-13.
The movie was a lot of night shooting. I mean, the whole thing was pretty much night shooting, so it was a grueling schedule. And about 3/4 of the way through the filming of the movie, our dolly grip got these pins made, like, just like the circle pin that you put on your t-shirt, and it said, Buffy to just say no. And that really upset the director, and she got up and she said, cut the lights. We were down for like 2 hours, so she was really upset. But we never did make another one, so it came true. But I'll never forget that day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much for being here. I remember one of the commentaries, Josh said that there are two people he wants to take a pratfall. It's James and Alexis Denisov. And I was just wondering for all of you, sort of the way in the movie and the show, you do a lot of heavy drama and comedy, like bounce back and forth. And that's something that you enjoy doing as actors, and that's sort of how that works and sort of the way that you come to set and prepare.
That's a really good question. Yeah, that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about Buffy the most, was that we switched up styles so quickly. We did horror, we did melodrama, comedy, kind of everything. And in the beginning, it was episode to episode would be different styles. And then by the end, it would switch up kind of almost sometimes mid-scene. You'd switch it up. And we'd be like, what style is this one? It was great. It was just great training because I was coming from stage and I knew how to do all those styles on stage. But then how do you translate those onto film? Because film really wants naturalism. Everyone accepts that most acting for film is naturalism. And when you go outside of that, it's very easy to look fake. And so the challenge is to do the different styles but still be believable. And I remember I acted way too much in the beginning. I remember Josh came up to me and he goes, could we have a little more Tim Roth, a little less Laurence Olivier, please? So I was always trying to kind of to subtle it up, And every time the styles would change, I'd have to remind myself of that. Yeah. Mark.
I was just wondering in terms of, because you all got a chance to do both comedy and drama on the show and in the film, sort of how, as an actor, if you enjoyed doing that and what kind of process you went through to get to go from one to the other so quickly a lot of the time, I guess.
Yeah, I honestly don't understand the question, because to me, it's all the same. I mean, it's all funny. I don't understand all this sadness. No, I know, I understand, but it's not a changing from one to the other. It's all about bringing a reality and a sense of life, of a living creature to the medium, whatever the medium is, whether it's stage or film. And you do have to be, or television, you do have to be a little bit smaller on film. But when playing the Master, which was a lot of fun, with this mask on, a mask is very liberating. You study mask when you when you study drama in college. And you find that when you put a mask on, it's very liberating because you're not who you are. You have this mask on. So it was a lot of fun to play with this, and also I got to do a little Sylvia Sidney from Sunset Boulevard, and I got to do a little, what's his name, Schenk from Nosferatu. I got to bring lots of bits and pieces of my history with film to it, so, yeah. Was that your question?
It was close, Mark. It was close. No, I think one thing, this may or may not answer your question, I don't know. But one thing about Joss's writing that you guys all appreciate, and we appreciate as actors, is no matter the, seriousness of the situation that the characters are going through, there is a certain lightness to his deliveries and a certain cadence that he has. And so I think that with that language, it's easier to transition through the emotions, because his writing carries this certain lightness to it.
Yeah, the style, whether it's drama, comedy, or whatever, it's all was coming through Joss in some way, and he has this voice that is, exactly, there's a lightness to it, there's an elevation to it. It's great fun to play.
Do you want to take a stab at it?
No, that's okay.
All right, so thank you, I appreciate it, thank you very much.
So to the actors from the Buffy TV show, you all ended up dying, at least temporarily.
No, I didn't.
How did you prepare for that big moment?
Well, I was prepared every week because I thought they would kill me off every week. So I was always happy to get a script delivered. When I was on the show, the script actually got delivered to your house, which doesn't happen anymore. But I would flip through and make sure I was still alive. And then I would learn my lines. But when in the 100th episode, I was, in that final moment, I was happy that it was kind of Ben that died. So I say glory never died.
I started out dead, so it was like, yeah.
Well, in Chosen, when you burn up.
Oh, yeah. I remember Josh coming up to me and just going, dude, it's not that serious. Just stop it. I think I was playing the emotion too much, frankly. I was a little too proud of sacrificing. And so he's just like, can you cut that in half? I think we got it. Yeah, I was having too much fun.
I do a lot of calisthenics. Yeah, that is tough.
Comedy is easy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he said. Yeah. No, I don't know if you can really prepare for dying. I do it a lot, so I feel like it's becoming second nature now, but you can't really prepare for it. You just gotta go in and balls to the walls, do it.
When Josh cast me, I asked him, I knew it was throughout the whole first season, and I've told the story before, but I asked him, what's the arc for the character? You always want to know sort of something about where you're going, so you know how to get there. And he said, it's great, because at the end of the season, you kill Buffy. I thought, this is so good. Does that mean that the second season, if it gets picked up, is going to be called Master the Buffy Slayer? And he smiled knowingly, but he didn't tell me that actually they brought the bitch back to life. And she killed me. But I did get to kill her, and then I got to kill her again in The Wish, so I got to kill her twice, and I'm told that I'm the only person who got to kill her twice. But both times she came back.
She has a way.
And they were paying her a lot more money than they paid me. They could have had me come back to life cheaper.
You're good at the killing thing, are you?
Thank you very much, guys.
I wanted to make one comment and then a question, but my comment was that James, one of my favorite moments in the entire series is seeing the American guy faking the British accent, faking the American accent. Like, brilliant. My question is actually for Amber. The entire series, the entire time you're on, you're featured in the opening credits on the day you die. Do you have any thoughts or feelings about that?
It was a nice little sequence. I looked good. My name looked real pretty up there. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen, and I knew it was going to be very gutting. Spoiler alert. To a few people. But it was nice to at least for once at least to have it up there. It was nice. Definitely a little rough though. I think.
Thank you.
My question's for everyone. Is there a line from the show or the movie that fan after fan after fan asks you guys to say? Like a line you might be known for? I can only think of...
Glory has so many great lines. I don't know. I always mix up the Bring It On lines and the Glory lines. They were both such great, fun writing. So I'll think about that. I'll get back to you.
Thank you. You guys have any other ones? Or? Yeah.
Does the word duh mean anything?
There's none that people can necessarily ask me about, but one of my favorite lines is, "Oh, you've got something in your eye." Oh, I also like, by the way, I like your dress.
Thank you.
That's all right. Oh, I know my line now. Shut up and yeah. You go first. No, you go first. Did anyone know that Slayer was a robot? I'm under your spell. Hey, that was a good one. That was pretty.
And darling, before you walk off, I just personally want to say that I like your shirt. Now, when you come up to the mic, I want you to say your name, introduce yourself to these amazing stars up here.
Okay. Hi, I'm Katie. Nice to meet all of you. Buffy's been such a big impact on my life. Kristy, I dressed up as you when I was 11 for Halloween, like your version of Buffy. I put little stakes in my pom-poms. It was great. Marge had me bawling when I was 6 years old. When you killed Buffy, you were so terrifying. It was great.
I did my job.
My question's for Amber. You were one of the first featured lesbian relationships on network television. And thinking about that, did that affect how you performed the character, or was that just she's a witch, she's a lesbian, she likes puppies? Was it just what you did?
I was talking to, because there was a lot of back and forth about us kissing. It was a big deal. Allison and I both wanted to do it because we felt well, they're a couple, they should be allowed to kiss. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And we can't even kiss. So we were kind of upset about it. And then one of the prop guys took me aside and he's like, I'm gay. And it's not about kissing. It's about two people who happen to be in love with each other and be women. And that's what it's about. It's about changing the mainstream and saying that it's okay to be what you are, regardless. If you find somebody to love, period, you're just lucky, He's like, it's about how you guys are with each other, and it's the relationship that's important, because you show us that you're just like us, You're just like anybody else. And I think that sort of, should we, hello? Nice ring. So it was less about oh, I'm a lesbian, I've got to play this like a lesbian. It's, no, I'm somebody who just happens to be in love with a girl, so.
Okay, hi, I'm Justin, and as everyone else is a huge Buffy fan. But this is a very unconventional question. I'm going to get the whole audience involved. I want you guys to start singing a song from the Buffy musical. Everyone else is going to join in. This is a spontaneous Buffy musical song. This has never happened at a panel before.
Well, I get a pass on this one, so. That wasn't it.
James, it's on you, buddy.
How about you start it off? Can you start it off for everyone?
Okay. And we will walk.
I'm sorry that I suck at covers, man.
Well, you did great.
By the way, that feeling is how most of the cast reacted to having to sing in front of Americans. They were like, Joss, you are insane. Let me juggle chainsaws, anything.
Hi guys. Hello. I'm Brooke. Hi Brooke. Nice to meet you. My question is there was like a death question earlier. It's sort of related to that. My question is, for all of you that died, and maybe more specifically for James and Amber, because you guys as villains sort of knew that was coming up at the end of your arc, surely. But you guys as series regulars, especially, how long before your death did you find out about it? Yeah.
Oh, I knew. Joss took me aside. We were finishing up the last couple of shots for the end of season 5, the big finale, and he took me to his trailer and said, I have something really awesome to tell you. So I was there at the time, and I think it was Diego. It was Diego and Joss and I in his trailer, and he's like, so, we're gonna kill your character, isn't that awesome? I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that's really, yay! But he felt bad about it, I think, because it was supposed to happen like toward the beginning of season 6, and it just kept getting shunted further and further back in the season. But yeah, I knew ahead of time. I think I actually told Adam that he was gonna kill me.
Wow.
Yeah, by accident. Not that he'd kill me by accident. Well, that happened. But I let it slip by accident.
I didn't know nothing, man. For me, working with Joss Whedon was like working for Lockheed in Area 51. I knew when that script came out. He told me in my first season, in season 2, he backed me up against the wall and he goes, I don't care how popular you are dead, you are dead, you are dead.
Did you know you were coming back on Angel?
No, I always thought I was dead. I was always like, he's about to kill me, man. I'm just about to be done. At all times, yeah. Because my character was not supposed to be like, you guys weren't supposed to like me. In Joss's world, vampires are just a stand-in they're a metaphor for the problems that you get over in adolescence. So that's why his vampires are ugly when they have pointed teeth. They're not supposed to be romantic. And he got talking to one romantic vampire. It was Angel. David Greenwald talked him into it. And I was just supposed to be a boy toy for Drusilla and get killed off by Angel when he went evil. And then it went different. It was not going according to plan. And so he kept telling me, I don't like the Anne Rice stuff. You are not right for this show. Stop it. Stop it. I was like, dude, you dyed my hair. It's your fault.
That's like a testament to you, that you were able to take something that never was supposed to be anything and make it something amazing.
I was just very poor, and I was like, you can do what you want, but I'm gonna try to make this last as long as I can.
Claire, did you want to?
You have an answer.
I knew I was going to die, eventually, but it was always a surprise. I was on information lockdown too, so I'd get a script and see what happened.
Need to
need-to-know basis.
Yes.
We didn't need to know anything.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Keith, and I'm a Buffyholic. This question is for Amber. One of my favorite episodes is Hush. Just actually amazing episode, the way it was done, very creative. What was it like to do an episode where it was pretty much all pantomime?
That was awesome. That was my first episode. Little did I know we'd be moving forward. Doing naughty things. We did hold hands when we moved the drink machine, which is little. No, it was amazing. I'd never done anything like that before. You know, as an actor, you're always like talk. So to be silent, to have to like express yourself that way, was really a challenge for me, because I like to talk. Sarah didn't like to talk, but I like to talk. But I think, it all ended up being about, just listening to people. I mean, not like their words, but like what they're giving you as far as their actions, just like really watching them and reading them and just giving them back in time. Yeah, it was awesome. It's one of my favorite episodes. That and musical and Restless, those are in the body. Okay, so that's a lot of favorites. Yeah, I know.
That episode was Joss showing off. He got told, people were telling him why he was a genius, and he kept going, no, you don't get it yet. They were telling him that you're so funny, your dialogue is so funny, that's why you're so good. He's like, oh, really? I'll do one without dialogue. You're so funny, really? I'll do one with no jokes. Bye. He kept doing that. I remember thinking that it was be an easy episode, because like, I don't have to memorize any lines. And then Joss gets on set, and he was so specific with every moment. He is directing, because usually in film, they direct you as little as possible, because they want you to be natural, they don't want you to start acting. But in that one, he was every little moment. It was like, nope, then you turn that much, and then you give the look. So he was carving the beats. So yeah, it ended up being a lot harder than I thought it would.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm George. I wanted to know, regardless of any kind of context, if each of you could have one moment you could do that you didn't get to do, what would it be? On the show, you can do whatever you want as the character you played. And you don't have to think how it fits into the story, just any moment.
One moment as the character I played, well, I'd clearly come back.
That's a good question.
Kill more. Kill something more something.
Mark, you'd come back too, right?
I'd come back, sure. It would all be, the Wish episode would be the way it always was. I'd be the mayor of Sunnydale. And you'd all be my lunch.
I got way more than I bargained for on Buffy. I was terrified because I realized that I don't know what's going to be asked of me week to week. And I started hiding from Joss because I didn't want to know. So I got way more than I expected. I can't imagine anything else, I guess, seriously. I'm just glad I made it through that. Yeah.
I'm totally stumped by that question. I don't know what to say.
Fair enough. But thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hold on 1 second. I see 3 of you in line. Is there an incredibly short person? Is there number 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. Y'all need to get up in line. Young lady in the pink dress, you're the last question. Everyone go, ooh.
Make it good.
That was precious, wasn't it? Ma'am, you have the mic. Who are you?
Hi, my name's Monica. I'm a volunteer.
Hey, Monica.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I was wondering, is there anything that you guys like on the show or the movie that you just so happen to take with you when you left?
accidentally.
I took a lot of Glory's underwear. I was lazy, basically, and it was pretty, so.
They told me, on the final episode, they told me that I should take the jacket. And I used to produce theater, and I hated actors that stole my stuff. I was a real, because I had no money when I was producing, so I was too proud to take that jacket. And I really wish that I had done that, because they ended up selling it for a lot of money. But I did steal one t-shirt. They were female Calvin Kleins. Those were the ones that made my boobs look nice.
You know, they sold my robe as well, but then the person who bought it mailed it back to me. Isn't that nice? It was one of you guys, probably.
Oh, I don't remember taking anything, but I do remember them giving me like all my shoes. There were these Doc Marten boots, and it like every color of the rainbow, and I remember having those, and I don't anymore. I kind of got rid of them. I didn't really realize or think about it.
They were really like sticky about, like they didn't want you to take anything because they were gonna, I guess, they knew they were gonna auction it off, so they were gonna sell it and make money. So yeah, I didn't really take anything. I did get a pair of pants. That was too big for me.
Yeah, I didn't take anything because they never knew when they might bring the master back. So I think I wanted the teeth at one point, but they wouldn't let me take them because they didn't know. And they kept bringing me back in third season and seventh season, so they wanted to keep it. And I didn't have any wardrobe that I wanted to wear because it all stunk by the end of the day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are going to have to make the next few questions quick because we have 4 minutes.
Okay, my name is Mary Beth, and first off, I'd like to thank you all for portraying the characters that you did so well. My question is for James. Which did you prefer better, working on Buffy or Angel?
They were both better. So it was basically the same writers, same directors, same producers, often the same actors. So it was kind of, for me, it was like the same show. The only thing is that I really enjoyed playing the evil Spike. When you play a hero, you have to be guilty about stuff. You have to try to save people. You know, feel bad that you don't do it well enough. And all that. When you play a villain, you just get to lurk and then pop the hero and go home. So it was harder. Artistically, it was harder to be on Buffy. But basically, when I got on Angel, I could just be a jerk to Angel, and that was delicious.
Kristy, I thought you delivered your lines great in the movie. Claire, my boyfriend loves your character. You're his favorite villain. Oh, where is he? The gray hat in the wheelchair.
Thank you.
James, my dad loves your character. Your song in the musical is his favorite, and he sings it all the time. Not so well. He's gonna see that video. Okay, never mind. Amber, I think he has the most beautiful singing voice in the whole world. I really love the song. Mark, I love the Master. He's my favorite villain. And my question, Amber, do you know what happened to the cat that played with Kitty Fantastic?
It was actually like 5 cats. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them, and every time they would have to come back, there'd be a new batch because they, in the beginning they were kittens, and then they were a little bigger, and then so there's like a ton of Miss Kitty Fantastico running around out there, making new baby Miss Kitty Fantastico. But they came to us through an animal wrangler, and I know that talking with them and stuff, they were treated really, really well, and when they were done, they were given to people to live out the rest of their days in nice homes. So they're out there somewhere. Miss Kitty Fantastico, you're out there? I'm looking for you.
Well, the next tale I get, I will name Miss Kitty Fantastico.
like best about the show is it's fun to watch the episodes as they go on because, you know, there's lines or things that the characters do or say that two seasons later or shows later, they mean something. You go, whoa. What's with the cheese? I can't figure it out. There's like slices of cheese and they keep coming up and I know they're supposed to mean something. I can't do it. I don't know. You guys know?
The cheese and the drink.
There's like cheese, like slices of cheese. And
I know that Joss was always paranoid about being cheesy, so it might be an inside joke.
Okay.
Let's call Joss.
Yeah, you can just call him for me now. No, okay, good.
Thank you, good question.
Hi, I'm Mercedes.
Hey, Mercedes.
Hi, I just have a question. What was the, for all of you, what was your favorite aspect of your character? Like, what part of your character you liked the best? That was a good question for the last question.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's have one question in 37 parts.
Well, in a nutshell, I loved Glory's laissez-faire attitude. You know, she didn't really care what anyone else thought. She did what she wanted, and she was extremely powerful. So that was my favorite part of her character. And you liked her underwear too. I liked her underwear. I liked that I got to play a lesbian character, and that we were the first like real long-term lesbian relationship on network television. That made me feel like we weren't just making a TV show, we were like making social commentary. And I was really, really proud of that. And it's one of the things I'm most proud of in my career, so.
I like playing the love. I always say if you find the love, you find the juice. And so playing such a sadistic character sounds weird, but I like trying to find the love.
I loved your character.
I don't know, my favorite aspect of the Master probably was his ambition for world domination. And I don't know what that says about me.
I guess I just liked everything she said. I loved all her dialogue. I just liked everything that she said. You know, just had a lot of fun with that.
Thank you guys so
Great
much.
question.